Whoa, whoa. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live, number 145 for this Monday, August 18th. I'm your host, Rod, here with some of my good friends, the chat crew, the co-hosts of the show. Good to see you guys here this morning. I hope you guys are having better weather than I am here in Philadelphia. It's pretty rainy, so I hope it's better where you are. This is the eInk and tech news show where we talk about all the tech news, eInk news, and maker news if you're into that kind of thing for the day. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple of things like we're going to talk about eNote. Lots of eNote news today. So we're going to be talking about my first impressions of the eNote 2. Big deal for me here. I was confused at first, but I got where we're going now. So stay tuned if you want to see that. We're going to be talking about some news as far as Chromium. OpenAI using Chromium to make their own browser. So that's a big thing. What else we got here? Oh, Hypernova. If you're into wearable AI, if you're into AR, stuff like that, we got the Hypernova news. I wasn't interested till I found this stuff out today. So we got some interesting stuff going on as well. Speaking of which, how you guys doing out there today? We got who we got in the chat already here. We got Aaron, of course, already in the chat here today. I appreciate you for being here, Aaron. My brother's in the chat today. How's it going, brother? We have Christina. How's it going, Christina? Good morning to you. And who else we got here? The Rock. Good morning. Thanks for being here, The Rock. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about today's holiday, National Fajita Day. Listen, if you haven't had a fajita in a while, today's the day. Get your fajita. I make my fajita. I'm a vegetarian, so I'm not doing the chicken fajitas. I'm just doing regular, like a tofu fajita. Yeah, I might make an egg fajita. You can do that too. It's good stuff. All right. So anything you guys want to talk about, remember we have the live chat down below in the description where you can join the Discord. You can join the events channel when you join the Discord. You can also hit that link below to jump right into the events channel if you want to do that. And the events channel is our way to do like the call-in section. If you have a question, something you want to say, you can say it on the live show. So if you come in there, throw your hand up, I'll see it. I promise you I'll see it today. I have it up. I'm looking at it right now. I'll see it. We'll get to you. We'll talk about it. And we can have a conversation. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the... Oh, boy. What we got in the chat before we go on to the news? Work conferences. The Rock. Gotcha. Work lurking. I get it, you guys. I get it. But let's go ahead and talk about the tech news of the day, shall we? Let's get this transition going. Can we do it? Can we do it? Will it... It worked. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about the first story we got up here, which is going to be the Hypernova from Meta. So Hypernova smart glasses will cost a lot less than we thought, new report claims. So we got some new details on the Hypernova glasses. I think this is super interesting. This is super interesting for a couple of reasons. Let's take a look at the Hypernovas first. So this is oh boy, chat, we got to find the actual Hypernova. We got to find the actual picture of the Hypernovas because this is not going to do. This is not going to do. Let's find these Hypernovas here because I wanted to show them for you so we can talk about the size of them. The size is going to be a thing. The size is most definitely going to be a thing. We might have to pull up a different one. We got to pull up a different picture of the Hypernovas. Have you guys seen the Hypernovas? Does the size bother you? The size did bother me. I'm not going to hold you. The size did bother me for a while. Oh boy, that's not it. But I'm less worried about that now. I'm actually less worried about the size effect of them now. Why is no one showing the Hypernovas? Okay, here we go. Okay, chat. No one's showing the Hypernovas. I don't know what that's about. Let me look it up one more time here. Wow, this is interesting. I couldn't get away from the Hypernova stories today. Now I can't. Meta. That might have been the reason, chat. That might have been the reason. No. I can't. Oh, there we go. Whew. Finally, a picture of the Hypernovas. Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. All right. Those are the Hypernovas, chat. That's what we got there. Sorry if I lost you. But those are the Hypernovas there. Can we get rid of that? Why can't we get rid of that? What? Okay, there we go. All right, so those are Hypernovas there. Let's get to some actual news about these things. So the Meta Hypernovas, initially they were thought to be or going to be around $1,000 plus for the Hypernovas there. They come with a wristband. I had a really nice picture, you guys. I don't know what happened to that picture. It's bothering me. But they used to be quoted for being $1,000+. So maybe $1,200, $1,500 for these things. There's a really good picture showing the Hypernova, the Meta Hypernova setup, to where it's a wristband. Can we find this? Can we find the wristband? Okay, so maybe let's take a look at images here. There we go. That's the image I was looking at. Whew. Let's go there. Bam. There we go. Perfect image to talk about this. So, firstly, they were quoted to be $1,000, right? And that wasn't. I don't. At $1,500, I don't care about this, right? Because it's nothing I would wear all the time, like I would wear these all the time. And for the price of these, it's a fraction of the cost. We're talking $300 versus $1,500. But the new cost of these are going to be around $800. So it's about $799 they're talking about. At $799, this may be something I would deal with. This may be something I would deal with at $799. But it started making me think about, I mean, all right, we're looking at the size, right? Because they're pretty thick. Okay, I'm not going to hold you. These are pretty thick glasses right here. But the functionality of it, and if you guys don't know, these Hypernova glasses they're like the Meta glasses, except for they have a screen on the corner, kind of like the old Google glasses. If you remember those things from back in the day, it just had a little window or a little LCD screen that showed you notifications, shows you turn-by-turn directions for maps, shows you just little things. I mean, it's probably going to be a big enough screen to where you could probably see video or maybe your phone screen. I'm not exactly sure about those details, but I do know at the very least you're going to be able to get notifications and you're going to be able to get turn-by-turn. How do we feel about that though? Size-wise, taking a look at the size of this is what they're going to be capable of doing. You're going to get AI in them. You're going to get the LCD screen on the corner of one of the lenses. It's not going to be a total immersive AR experience like the Vision Pros from Apple. And you get the wristband here, and the wristband I think is going to be a big thing because it's going to allow you to interact with what you're seeing on the screen in a natural way. My big thing about the wristband is that if they were going to have you have a wristband on, and if it's something they want you to wear all the time, they should have just made the wristband a watch. You know what I'm saying? Give that wristband watch functionality. I'll wear it all day. I mean, if it's a decent size, I mean, it just makes sense. How do we feel about this, chat? What's going on? Oh, I'm at home showing my clients come. I have to split. No doubt. Thanks for showing up, Mike. I appreciate you being here. Real quick, Aaron says the eNote 2, I hope there is a video dropping today. Not today. I can't drop a video until they actually, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Nice, Rock. Hey, I can't hear. I'm sure it's me. Am I good, you guys? Those glasses are thick. Anyone watch Trek Discovery? They're Dr. Kovac's glasses. Yeah, those are pretty thick. I'm thinking about what use case I would use these glasses though, Duroc. My Bluetooth keeps turning on and connecting to my car. Oh, fix your Bluetooth, Mike. Come on, this is important stuff, man. Get it together, dude. Get it together. I'm thinking about what use case I would use these glasses for. That's my thing. What use case would I use these glasses for? Would I use them at home? Would it be worth the bulk to deal with them at home? And do I need to get notifications in my glasses at home? That's more of a I'm on the go thing. I need to get notifications here because I'm on the go. I want hands free. I don't want to be. But if I'm at home, I can probably do a lot of things. I don't know. So what about on the go? Is the on the go use case the use case for this? Are they too thick to wear on the go? Are you outside thinking I don't want to look like I'm from Star Trek with these on? You know what I mean? I don't know. So what about in the office? Maybe in the office, right? You don't have to pull your phone out to see the notification, what's being said. You can even respond without pulling your phone out. I mean, that's gotta help productivity, right? It's gotta help at least the illusion of productivity because you're not pulling your phone out. So maybe in the office, this will be good. Activities. Absolutely not. It's too thick for activities. I need the wristband. I don't know. Battery pack probably involved in this whole situation. I don't know. These perfect for productivity. I mean, for activities. Like the Meta Ray-Bans, perfect for activities. I would do this all day, every day. Study. Would we do this for studying? I don't know. I mean, if it works in an office situation, maybe a study use case would be good for these. What do we think, chat? What do the glasses do? The glasses the glasses have a screen in the lens, so it allows you to see notifications in the corner of your lens there. That's my understanding. It probably does a lot more than that, but that's my biggest thing. It also just works like the Meta Ray-Bans. You got headphones here, you got microphones here, you got cameras, you got the screen for notifications. That's basically what it does. She's like, I'm getting a headache just looking at them, says she. Not sure I can stand them for long. No. And that's why I'm saying, what use case would these be good for? I mean, at $800, they're interesting to me. It's compelling at $800, but I'm just like, and I mean, what use case though for $800? I guess because if it's a really narrow use case, then maybe not. So what else we got up here? We got Mr. Mike says, I would love it because you can check your notifications without actually acting like you're being rude in front of clients and I guess friends as well. Good, very good point, Mr. Mike. And that's why I say the use case about the office would be cool because it gives the illusion that you're not doing these things, even though you may be doing these things. And at the very least, it's going to save you some time, pulling out your phone, checking it, responding that way. You can see it right there, and it's also different from your watch, right? Because it kind of takes your watch kind of takes the attention away. If you check your watch while you're talking to somebody, they think, "Oh, do you got somewhere to be? Am I bothering you? Am I interrupting?" Oh, my mic is dropping in and out. Oh snap! Oh snap! Really? Oh, well, thanks for letting me know that, Aaron. I don't know what's going on with that. I might have to check that out. But if it keeps becoming an issue, you let me know, okay? Apologize about the mic problems I'm having right now, but if it gets worse, you guys let me know. Or if it clears up, you guys let me know. That shouldn't be an issue at all, honestly. What else we have here in the chat? I really have no use for cameras because I'm not a content creator. A screen though, that's compelling. Yeah. The cameras, yeah. I don't know if I'd use this on the go for the cameras to be even a benefit. Honestly. Pull out your phone and looking at it looks like you are totally dismissing people that you're with, but sometimes it's necessary. True. But this notification thing would kind of alleviate that, I think. Hey, I'm not the expert. I'm just a guy giving you my opinion. You need to be the expert here, Mike. You need to be the expert here. All right, you guys, let's go on to the next story we got here. We only have a few stories before we get into the eNote news here. Next thing we got up is going to be Apple Watch sensor saga is over. I don't know if you guys followed this at all, but there was a thing going on with Apple back in the day. So let's go over the timeline real quick. So this is back in 2020. So back in 2020, when Apple was releasing their Series 9 Apple Watches and the Apple Watch Ultra 2, they released a blood oxygen sensor in that particular watch. Now, when they released that watch with the blood oxygen sensor, they released it with a couple things happening first. Okay, so they released it after having contacted a company called Masimo. Now, Masimo is a medical company. They make medical devices, medical sensors, and things like that. Now, they contacted Masimo about working with them, collaborating with them on bringing their sensor to the Apple Watch, right? Now, those talks fell through. But instead of trying to renegotiate and all that with the company, Apple just decided that, hey, we're just going to start hiring some of their top engineers and bring all that good trade goodness over here. their trade secrets, their patents that they have. So all of that information came along with those engineers, right? Now, Apple put out after that, Apple put out the watches. Masimo sued them for patent infringement, for copyright infringement, for trade secret infringement, all those things they sued Apple for. Now, everybody at the time thought, who cares? Apple's just going to stomp this little company out, and it's going to be that. They'll continue to sell their watches. But no. That didn't happen this time. This little company beat out Apple. Apple was forced to stop selling their Apple Watch 9 series and Ultra 2s in the US and had to stop exporting them with that particular hardware and software combination they had in the watch, because it infringed on a lot of the trade secrets that Masimo were coming up with themselves. Surprised me totally when that happened. I'm like, whoa. And everyone thought, oh, this is going to be resolved in like a couple of days. They never resolved it. They had to take the functionality out of the watches. They had to disable it. So after they disabled all of that, they've been in litigation for the last few years now. So it's finally come to an end. Now, the conclusion of this is that the latest ruling allows Apple to use a blood oxygen sensor in their watches. The thing here that differentiates this particular procedure from how they used to do it is they used to be able to see this information and it gets processed right on the watch. Now the information has to be processed and viewed on the phone. So that's the big difference here. So they can use a sensor, however it may work, but its functionality is confined to the actual phone, even though the sensor is in the actual watch itself. Super interesting stuff. Anybody got one of those watches that didn't have that functionality that's taking advantage of that now? I have that particular 9 series watch here. I haven't tested it out yet, but it's super interesting. Super interesting stuff here. You're yelling. Yeah, we already went through that there. I think it's super interesting how Apple resolved this, and that not only that's a small company where it was able to kind of stop Apple from doing something it wanted to do. Good case of underdog winning. Good case of underdog winning here. Let's go to the next story we got. The next thing we got, and the last thing we got here for the tech stories, is going to be OpenAI prepares Chromium-based AI browser to take on Google and their AI browser that they're never, ever, ever, ever going to release. Not until someone beats them to the punch and makes them feel like they need to do it. That hasn't happened yet. But OpenAI is thinking that they can do it. So they're going to be using a Chromium-based browser. They also have a service like this already in the works that they're using Chromium for, but they're going to basically extend that functionality to a whole browser. It's going to be Mac OS only at first on the launch of this particular browser, whenever it launches. We're still in the speculation stages here, so take this with a grain of salt. Similar to Copilot mode in Edge, where an AI agent browses the web for you. So this is going to be a whole automated kind of experience, a whole agentic AI experience here. Super interesting. Someone needs to do it. No one's done it yet. Well, Perplexity's got their Comet, right? Which is, I hear, pretty good. But for $200, people are like, it ain't worth that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping someone makes a free AI browser that's going to be good. Maybe OpenAI will do it. All right. All right, everybody. That's going to be all the tech stories we got for today. What do we got going on in the chat? Oh, nothing. We're just waiting on. Okay, here we go. So eNote. We don't have any maker news today. No maker news today. Again, we have the Discord link in the description. So if you are someone who wants to jump into Discord, send a link. You got something you want to say? We have the call-in section of the show too. You can jump in the events channel. Raise your hand. Let me know you want to say something. We'll get you on the show. We'll have a live conversation about it. Whatever topic we're talking about here today. Tech related, preferably. All right. So big thing here today is the eNote 2 for me. I was lucky enough to get this eNote 2 ahead of their launch. I've been okay to talk about it a little bit. The unboxing is coming. The unboxing won't be until the 20th. So they're allowing me to talk about it, but I can't do the unboxing until that day. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. But so we're gonna talk about it a little bit here today. Actually, I'm gonna bring out both of these things. Because to talk about one means you have to talk about the other too. Now, a couple of things. This particular product was called I think it was called the N10 Pro in China when they released it there. Let's see. Can we tell the difference here? Oh, move this back here. What say you, chat? Can we tell the difference here? I think the difference here is pretty obvious, right? Which one is which? One is the eNote, and the other one is the eNote 2. We can see it, right? Like, so I'm just gonna jump right in. These aren't too big of a deal. We're gonna talk about the stats too. This isn't too big of a deal in comparison to a whole new device, because this is like an iterative change for this device. But I believe it's a big iterative change. I think it's good. So let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So this one on the left here is the eNote 2, and this one on the right is the regular eNote. Now, the biggest thing with this new device here is the screen. So whereas this screen was 200 ppi, a little over 200 ppi, this one is 300. So this one is a 300 ppi screen, 10.3 inches, 2480 by 1860 ppi or resolution. Octa-core CPU here. I don't know how fast the CPU is in this particular device. I'm going to download some software onto here to test it, to see. That'll be in my subsequent videos about this particular device here. So we have the same 65 milliamp hour batteries we had in the regular, the initial eNote. 4 mic array and speaker. Now, the 4 mic array and the speaker looks to be the same in these two devices as well. Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, Bluetooth 5.0. So better Bluetooth in this one here. Not 6.0 like the current devices, but 5.0. What else we got here? It comes with two styli. So whereas the first one, the original eNote came with one stylus, which is this exclusive stylus, it is an exclusive stylus to this particular tablet. It came with one, and people had a problem getting these styli online with their order. So they just started packing in 2 of these with the device. So that's going to be a thing. Let's go to the chat real quick before we continue on with this here. I think my client stood me up, says Mike. Oh, that sucks, dude. At least you get to enjoy the show, though. What else we got here? If the OpenAI browser is $200 one time, it would be interesting. Almost no way, though, it'll avoid subscription monthly payments. You think so? That's interesting, DeRock. I would hope they wouldn't do that, because it's a browser that's hopefully going to make them some money above and beyond what they can do with just a chatbot. But you might be right. I'm hoping that's not the case. eInk success story. During a conference last week, took notes on 10.3 and flashed action items and parking lot in the room screen. Founder loved it, called it an Etch-a-Sketch, and wanted one. I describe eInk devices as Etch-a-Sketch-ish, especially in my... so I have a video coming out today. We'll talk about it a little bit later. I have a video coming out today ranking eInk display brightness. So that video is finally dropping today at 6 p.m. tonight, Eastern time. So that video is going to drop then, and I say the same thing in that video. I correlate it to an Etch-a-Sketch. Too much AI stuff is server side. It'll cost them money to run the browser. Yeah, I was just hoping I was hoping that because it's a browser that they would be able to monetize it in some way, just like how Google, like for Gemini, they can't monetize Gemini the chatbot, right? But they can monetize what they do in the browser because they're still serving ads there. There's still sponsored spots there. There's things that you can do to make money in a browser that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do with a chatbot interface. So That's what I was hoping, but you could be right, Rocco, and we're going to see here pretty soon because I think they are going to do this, and I think when OpenAI does their browser, that's going to put the pressure on Google to do their Chrome version of an AI browser. So, and I'm here for it. All right, so back to the Penstar here. So they're offering 2 pins in with the package now, so that's a thing. And so that should make it easier to deal with the touch-only interface. If something were to happen to one of your pins, you have another one. So another thing about this pin, I tried. Let's see if we can get down here. So I tried the crystal nib in this particular pin. The pin is proprietary and is exclusive to this tablet. But you can put a different nib in here. You can put different nibs in this particular pin, and it would work. And I tried the crystal nib, and it works really well. It doesn't fit all the way, so I need to figure out a way to customize it to fit this particular pin perfectly. But it does work at the very least. So different nib options are possible with this particular pin, even though it's exclusive to this device. All right, so back up here a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the screen looks so much better. So it's obviously 300 ppi versus I think 206 or something like that with the original eNote. But beyond the higher resolution, the ink, you can just see it. Like it just looks a lot bolder. It's not just sharper, but it's bolder. Like you can just tell the difference in the two, the darkness of it and the contrast. Now the background here is brighter than the background on the regular eNote as well. So like I said, I'm releasing and dropping the eInk background screen display brightness video today. It's basically a video where I'm ranking eInk screens on their brightness, their whiteness, and their color contrast, their color shifts. So that's what the video is going to be about today. Again, 6 p.m. Rants About Tech. Check it out tonight, Eastern time. But that video is talking about how the different tablets rank as far as brightness. And the original eNote here didn't, even though I thought it would rank the highest, it didn't rank the highest. I believe that this new one would take the cake. And just spoiler, Viwoods is good. But this may take the cake from Viwoods as far as brightness goes. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So anyway, I do like that this is brighter. I do like that the contrast is better. I do like that the ink seems to be darker as well. So that all of that is great with me. I like the color difference too. I like the darker bluish tone to the gray versus this kind of like washed out gray. I think that was a good decision to do with this newer device here. You'll see on the back here. I'm gonna go ahead and take the cover off, and we'll talk about the covers here, I guess, too. While we got this, I do like the cover differences. This material here feels a lot better in the hand. It feels exactly like the Supernote Manta cover. It looks and feels exactly like the Supernote Manta cover, honestly. Without, obviously, the Supernote Manta cover doesn't have this little pin hook here or loop. But this feels just like it. Feels like the same material, looks like the same material. For all intents and purposes, I think it is the same material. But through any event, I think this is a step up from the previous cover. This just felt a little cheap. Not in the quality, but just the feel. And also the color is a little darker and a bluish to match the device that it's with too. So I do like that. Let's go ahead and put this aside for a second. What else do we have here? And other than that, other than the color and the texture being nicer, it's basically the same exact thing. And it looks a little more refined too with you can see here, bring this difference up here. This is cool, right? The embroidered kind of metallic look of that, but it's not as refined of a look as this. And then you got the two-tone color here on the older cover. The newer cover just has one solid color. And like I said, I think this is a more refined look. The logo is more refined. It's more subdued, which I like. Everything just seems way more refined. Let's go to the chat here. I haven't seen more Boox and Viwoods link tables popping in and around more than Supernote lately. I still haven't run into anyone with the eNote. Interesting. Interesting, Aaron. I don't, and that's just that's coming from Aaron in the chat there. They're doing pretty good with the sales. I get people all the time telling me that they just bought an eNote. Thanks for the videos, and that that kind of stuff. So I know people. I know they're selling. I know they're selling. Also, they're making a push this fall. So I think they're coming out with 2 new devices this fall. This one's hitting soon, and there's going to be another one coming in October, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. All right, so back to the eNote. So the display. Now, not only is it brighter, not only is the eInk seem darker to me and it looks a lot better, the texture on here is so much better. Whereas before, the texture on this particular screen was not very good. I mentioned that in the review. I didn't like the inconsistency of how it felt. I didn't like the slippery but graininess. It's a weird texture on here. It works for certain materials, like if you're using felt on this, it works. But I didn't like it for the kind of material and nibs that I like to use. Now, the glare on here wasn't as good as I thought it should have been either. They fixed both of those things with this particular display. So the film that they have on the eNote 2 is just leaps and bounds better than the eNote 1, the first one. I mean, I can't even leaps and bounds, you guys. Like, it feels so much better. The glare is so much better. They pretty much brought the display feel into parity with most other devices. Like you could write on the new eNote 2 and not feel a discernible difference from, say, yeah, let's pick a hard screen. Say the not the Viwoods, because the Viwoods has the Mobius. But I would say it wouldn't be too much different than writing on a Go 10.3 or a Note Air 4C, right? I mean, it's that level of glare protection, and it's that level of friction and consistency. It feels really good. So, and like I said, I tried the crystal nib on it. Crystal nib feels good on it. I just haven't found a way to make it fit into their pen how I want it to fit. But they've done a great job on the screen. It's a better looking, better feeling. The writing experience is so much better. Yeah, kudos to them for improving the screen feel and the look. It's just, they've done a really good job of it. All right. The back here. Now, the back I don't like as much as the old. The back on the old device, even though they're both metal backs, this one has a soft touch to it. Whatever they did for this, it's like a soft touch finish to the metal, and it says fingerprint, like it doesn't get fingerprints, but it does. This one's probably better at not showing fingerprints than the old one, but I like the way this one feels and looks better. This is like a brushed metal. I'm not sure if that comes through. Yeah, you guys can kind of see it there. This is like a brushed metal here, and let's bring that down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, this is like a brushed metal, and I don't like that brushed metal look. I'd rather the clean look of the one. But it does add a bit of sophistication to it. I will give it that. But I do like the clean look of the one, how that looked there. All right, so I think other than that, the differences are, that's all about, or that's all for the cosmetic differences we have here for the device. Other than that, everything else seems to be pretty much the same between these two devices on the outside. So we're going to go ahead and put this one away for now. Actually, we may bring it back to show some comparisons between how the screen looks. All right, so just turning this on, we're going to take a look here. Oops, let's get this out here. All right, so you know what? We'll keep it up because we should do a comparison between the two to show the differences on how it's evolved and changed, and has hopefully gotten better. So, oh boy, we got news. All right, so let's we can probably pull this down here and show some close-up differences. All right, so we got the there we go. We got the old eNote on top and the new eNote on the bottom. Let's move this out of the way here. There we go. Okay, so now we got the old eNote on, or old eNote on the top, new eNote on the bottom here, and you can see the difference in the contrast, right? And how bold the eInk looks in the newer device, which is here. So you got the home here. Those two things, you can just see the difference there. I know everything just pops more for me on this device. Can we show down here? Go over here. Oops. Maybe we can show the shortcut menu here. I do like some of the new things they've done with the shortcut menu as well. All right, would we be able to tell if it was just like this? Yeah, we would. It just looks darker over here and better, for sure. All right, so I'm digging it. So obviously it's a better screen. I mean, that's just, and you can tell that it's lighter, more contrast. I like it. We're gonna put this away for now, so I can just focus on this. Any questions you guys might have, throw them in the chat. I'll try my best to answer them, or anything you want me to try, let me know, and I'll try my best to try that as well. Going to the chat though before we continue on. The screen on the eNote 2 does look bright. Can you put the AI paper next to it? Yep, I'll put the AI paper next to it, Aaron. Screen brightness is mostly due to which Carter version they're using, right? Maybe the digitizer layer can make it worse, but it's mostly from the eInk company, no? The Rock, yeah. So Mike, Mr. Mike in the chat here figured out last year sometime that voltages are what kind of dictates how bright these screens get. The newer displays do get brighter, I would imagine, but once they all have the same Carter 1200 or Carter 1300 screen, then it's just about how they set the voltages to either conserve battery or prolong the battery with how they set up the whiteness display. Because whites mean it takes more battery, higher voltage, which means you're going to take a battery hit. Now, that's what we discovered last year. Now, I'm not sure which panel they have in here, but I'm assuming this is the Carter 1200 panel they have in this particular screen. They didn't specify that on the packaging, and I didn't get any documentation from them saying that it was anything other than or what expressly it was. But I do know there's another device coming out later this year that is going to be, I think it's going to be the eNote Pro. That device is going to have a Carter 1200 display. So I'm assuming this display and the one they're going to have in the upcoming eNote Pro are going to be the same exact displays. Let me go get the Viwoods. Oh, it's on the Viwoods is on the whiteboard. Okay, so bring this up here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll bring up a sheet of paper on both devices, and I'll bring up things from both devices here. So we'll go to a note. Whoops. Let me back up a little bit. All right, so we'll pull up a note here. Right now, we're gonna just look at the screen brightness compared to the Viwoods here. I haven't done the measurement yet to give you guys a definitive number, but we'll see what we can find out here. And I'll just change the template to a clear page. Okay, so here we got two. Oh yeah, I'm telling you right now, I can see it already, you guys. This screen is brighter than the Viwoods. At least visually, it looks brighter. The Viwoods is an awesome looking machine, though. I'm not gonna hold you. It looks really nice. I see it on commercials, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice looking device. So the screen brightness here, you can see that. Let me do a refresh there. Do a refresh here. All right, so yeah, you can see that it looks a bit brighter. The eNote. The eNote's over here. This is the Viwoods right here. Now, like I said, I haven't done the measurement yet, and I'll add this to my measurement database. And this video that's coming out today won't have the eNote 2 in those tests. It'll have the original eNote. But man, it's looking like the eNote 2 may take the crown. It just might. All right, so what else we got here in the chat? On the 2 display is nice. Oh, the 2 display is nice. Yeah, it is nice. How is the calendar app? Carter 1200. Some will just call it old screen tech. Yeah, but you know what though? The GOAT uses Carter 1200 too. And matter of fact, I'm not even sure if that's Carter 1200 on the GOAT. I could be wrong about that, but I think it is Carter 1200 on the GOAT. You know, I'm okay with Carter 1200. Until they show me 1300 is optimized, which it could be at this point. 1300 could be optimized, and I'm just like, I'm tripping for no reason on that. That could be the case, and it probably is. What else we got here? Well, let's go ahead and turn it on. The calendar app here. Let's go ahead and get that. So all the apps are basically the same. So this device here isn't going to be different from the eNote 2. So let's just talk about what my impressions of it before we go into this whole thing here. My impressions of this device, which is the eNote 2, is that we'll go over some notes. We'll go over some notes I have, and I'll show some things that I took some notes on. But my initial overall impressions is that you're getting the eNote with a better display. I'm not sure if you're getting a better processor because I'm not like, they don't have a easy way to get software onto it to test it. So I'm going to figure out how to get the app that I need to test the actual processor and see which one they have in here. But so it's a better screen. You're getting a better screen, which is going to make your experience way better. You're getting a better writing surface. And you're getting, it's the same battery, 6500 milliamp hour battery. What else? So that's not changing any. You're getting all the updates. So it does have updates. Some things are going to be better than the regular one just because of the updates, but they'll both, the eNote 1 and eNote 2 will get those updates. So you're not getting anything better there. You're getting better storage on this one, 128 gigabytes of storage. What else? And I think that's it. So you're getting the eNote 1 experience with better storage, and a way better screen in look, technicalities, and in feel. And that's essentially what you're getting here. So to answer Aaron's question, the calendar is going to be basically the same as the old one. There's not going to be any differences here other than they do have a tutorial that walks you through some of the things that you can do with the calendar. So that's one thing I do like. They have a tutorial or a sequence of screens to show you some of the functionality. So I think that's cool. But the calendar hasn't changed. It's not on Viwoods level. So it's not on the Viwoods level calendar like what we have here. Let's see what yeah, all right. So this is the Viwoods calendar here. This is peak calendar right here for me. Like, Other companies could take note from this calendar. So it's not Viwoods level calendar here. I mean, it's functional. There's still some quirky things that I mentioned in the review and in the overview that I did, as far as the functionality of some of the tools that they have in here, and them being really easy to understand, or maybe not easy to understand. But regardless of that, it's the same. It's the same app. So all the apps are the same. So nothing's different. Now, one thing I did notice that's different for the apps is this: you get Microsoft 365 Copilot tools natively here, and you also get the Kindle app here. Now, on the eNote, when it launched and I got it, the only apps that were installed other than the system apps that you basically have right here, the only apps it was a Chromium app, and that was it. So it was like the browser app. But now they have Microsoft 365 Copilot, which obviously gives you some AI tools, and a Kindle app. So a different reading experience, or a more familiar reading experience. But other than that, everything is the same. Settings is the same. Wallpapers is basically the same. Sound settings are the same. For all intents and purposes, the software, cancel. For all intents and purposes, the software is going to be the same. So you're not going to see any differences there. So no differences there at all. Let's go to the chat. Oh, Carter 1200. Some would, yeah, I got that already. Yeah, I mean, it's the display tech is going to be an upgrade if you have the eNote. It's not going to be the latest. And like I said, even when they release their latest device, I still think that's going to have the same Carter 1200 display that's in this eNote 2 right here. I have an unboxing, like I said, coming on the 20th for this right here. So guys, check that out if you are interested in seeing some better images of this and seeing me go into more detail about some of the functionality. And I'll have some videos on how I feel about this particular device, but it's mostly going to be talking about how I feel about software and how this screen stacks up against the rest of the competition right now. Because like I said, I think this is going to be the same screen they're going to introduce in the eNote Pro later this year. How are we feeling about that? Are we guys, do we have any eNote owners out there right now in the chat? I guess we'll start there. Any eNote owners in the chat who can chime in on how they feel about the software? Because that's really, the software is the same. The software is the same. So, I mean, if you have some things about the software well, the OS is the same. They could have maybe some minor software differences, but I doubt it. I don't think anything they're doing on the old eNote would be hinging, or on the new eNote would hinge on the fact that it's 300 PPI. I don't think that's going to change anything they're doing from one device to the other. Some first thing I want to talk about. So screen looks amazing. So I really do love the screen. I really do love the screen. Better glare protection, like I mentioned before. eInk, thank you. Let's get the air horns going for eInk. I appreciate that, eInk. You guys hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more stuff like this. We do this every weekday from Monday through Friday. We talk about tech news, eInk news, like we're doing today, and we talk about maker news as well. If you guys are interested in that kind of thing. But thank you, eInk, for the Oh, she gifted 5 memberships. Listen, thanks to all the new members. I appreciate you guys. eInk's awesome. She's one of the most awesome people in this eInk community for sure. So thank you to eInk as always. And thank you to the new members. Consider staying members and continue your membership after your free membership is over. You can do that. Hit the join button. You can do that now if you want. Just hit the join button. You get the badge, right? You get shout outs every live stream. When we do giveaways, you're automatically entered into giveaways. We just did one like a week or 2 ago. You could have won a crystal nib. Shout out to, I think who won the crystal nib? I think it might have been Andy. Could be wrong about that. Thanks again, eInk. I appreciate you. Again, we got to get the air horns going. To the new members and to eInk. Appreciate you guys. All right. So, better writing surface and feel. So we talked about the better writing surface and feel on the eNote 2. Brighter May compete with Viwoods for brightness king. And like I said, I really do believe that. I really do believe it's in the running against Viwoods for that crown. 300 PPI, like we mentioned. The stylus has a felt tip that comes with it. So this is a felt tip that comes with the stylus here. The same stylus as before, so nothing different. I do think that the stylus I had before came with a plastic tip though, and I had to change it to felt. But this comes with felt defaultly, so that's the thing there. What else? Crystal nib works in this pen. So I found out the crystal nib that I sell works in this pen. When we get some back in the store, I'll send out notifications. If you haven't hit the subscribe button on the Rants About Tech website, oh boy, if you haven't done that, you should definitely go. You should definitely go to rantsaboutTech.com. Can we zoom in on this? I can't even get. I can't. You should go to rantsaboutTech.com. Hit the subscribe button for the newsletter down here. Oh, feedback. Where is this? I don't have that. Oh, where is it? We got it there somewhere. But yeah, definitely go and hit the subscribe button when you go to the site, and we'll get you set up with a crystal nib if you're waiting for one. We'll send out a more crystal nibs coming update for that. What else we got here? Exclusive to the eNote. So this pen is exclusive to the eNote. It's a proprietary pen. Exclusive to this device. You can't use this on any other device. At least I've tried on the devices that I have. I haven't been able to use it. So that's a thing. What else we got here? The cover, more refined. We talked about that. Material, more consistent. I like that. Toned down logo. I like that as well. So those are things that I wanted to bring up there. Pen only works on the eNote device. I like the note creation options and the ability to ignore it if you want to turn it off completely. So that's one of the features I like about the eNote there is, I think I won't. Yeah, there we go. This is a eNote specific feature that I really like. When you go and create a note, you get this. Is this the right one? Yeah. All right. So you get this kind of customization page where you can customize what your note is going to be like. I mean, you can ignore this totally, right? And just go to naming your thing and hitting create, and it'll be like any other process. But if you wanted to customize some of those, the way your cover looks and all of that stuff, you can do that there. And you can also skip this entirely by hitting this little slider right here. And you will never see this thing again if you do that. So I love the options. I really do like the options. What else we got here? System seems a lot snappier. We'll see if it is snappier. I'll check out the processor and we'll tell you. Everything's bolder and more consistent. May take the screen brightness crown from Viwoods. I think we talked about that a few times too. I really do believe that it could. We'll do the measurements and find out. Full screen icon needs to get better. I think all their icons on this particular device needs to get better. I think do a whole icon overhaul. Honestly. Android 14. So that's cool. I thought that was awesome. App Drawer has Microsoft 365, Copilot, and the Kindle app. So some added apps onto the regular system apps that they have here is really cool. Keyboard is responsive. So me trying to type on the keyboard, and that's uncommon in the eInk space to have a responsive keyboard. So I thought that might be worth mentioning. Scribbles. Oh my goodness, chat. Oh my goodness, chat. Chat, check it. Now, so this is a feature that only Boox products have. All right, let me show you guys. This feature right here is a feature that only the Onyx Boox products have. Now, I'm going to show you this feature. It's called Scribbles. Whoops, I need to get to a pen. All right, here we go. Hello world. Now, with the Scribbles function, I can do this and get rid of a word, right? Or get rid of a thing that I'm trying to get rid of. Bam. That's Scribbles. And I've been asking for everyone to do that. Give me intuitive editing tools. I mean, give me the ability to turn them off, you know what I'm saying? If I don't like them, but give them to me so I can decide what I want to do with them. So, but here's the thing. The only other company than Onyx to do this, and I'm going to tell you where I first saw this. I first saw this on the Apple Newton. All my Apple Newton peeps, raise up. Shout out to all my Apple Newton folks out there. But if you're an Apple Newton fan, you know what I'm talking about. They pioneered that whole scribble thing. But anyway, holy cow, check it out. Check it out. So the eNote brought that functionality. The eNote brought the scribble functionality to their device. So here we go. Let's try it out. Their pens have gotten so much better, by the way. So much better. Okay, so we can scribble out. What? Chat. Why does that make me happy? Like, why does that make me so happy? I don't know. But someone else realizing that is a smart thing to do, I love that. That was feedback I left them by. I leave that feedback to every eInk company, though. You should all be doing that. Man. So scribble to erase, the second company to do that, and I would argue that it might be better than Onyx's implementation. Case in point, let's do a test. So I'm gonna write a word with an I in it. All right. Now I'm gonna do the scribble to erase, but I'm gonna intentionally miss the dot and the I and see if it intuitively, smartly understands that I want all of it gone. Okay, it didn't recognize I wanted anything at that point. Let's try it again. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, so I think I went over the I. Let's try it one more time. All right, we gotta know, chat. We're gonna keep trying this until we figure it out. Chat, it did it. It did it. I don't even know what to do next. Oh yeah, hold on. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing with the Onyx. I know this doesn't work with the Boox platform because I try it all the time and it happens. But let's do it. Oops. So it got everything but the dot and the I. Now we're gonna go back over here. We're gonna go back. Okay, it works better. It works better. It works better on the eNote. I remember Jeffrey Moss talking about this specifically when I first got into using the scribbles. He was saying how he hated how it didn't recognize the fact that you wanted everything gone when you tried to scribble something. If your line didn't cross everything you wanted gone, it would leave that behind. This solves that. This is like an area erase, and it just smartly knows you want everything in that area gone versus just what your line went through. Does that make sense, chat? Let's go to the chat here real quick. Only problem with that is it sometimes thinks my normal handwriting is a scribble. That's a good point, Christina, and I go through that as well, which is why I turn scribbles off when I'm drawing, because it always mistakes what I'm trying to do with the scribbles. I get that. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but this is a better implementation as far as getting everything you wanted it to get rid of. I really do think that. Only no stickers. They are still light years away from what Ratta is doing. LOL. Wow. Aaron said no stickers. That's kind of a feature you get from actually observing how people write. Absolutely. Cloud. Absolutely. I agree with that. Aaron says scribble to erase is great. Scribble to erase is great. It could be better, just like we just showed. And I think the implementation that Penstar is doing on the eNote is a better version of that because it gets everything in that area you're trying to get rid of. Agreed. Scribble should be on any note taker. Absolutely. I tell every eInk tablet maker that asks my opinion, and who, even if I they don't even have to solicit it, I just give it. I say, hey, you need to have this feature, and I use the Boox scribbles, AI scribbles as a guide for that, and say, hey, no matter how you implement it, a gesture to erase or delete whole words or letters, just in an intuitive way, is just something that all these platforms should implement. How does Scribble Erase work on tightly lined templates? I struggle with Scribble Erase hitting lines above and below what I want to erase. Now, The Rock, I think that Onyx does a really good job of their software and their algorithm does a really good job of understanding what you want gone and what you don't want gone. Case in point, let's bring up the Go 10.3 here. So bringing up the Go 10.3, we're going to go to, oops. All right, so we're going to go, and I'm going to try to just, so in selecting stuff, it does a good job, right? I think if I want to just, you see how these words are kind of like jumbled well, they're not jumbled together, but the G and gang kind of like goes down by the who here. Now, on most, if I were to try to select the who on the Supernote platform, there would be a problem. There would be a problem with me selecting it because it wouldn't understand that I only want who. It would try to drag the G along with it. So I'm going to circle who. Now, Onyx, their software is smart enough to understand that I don't want the tail end of the G in that selection because that's a part of a different word. I only want the word who that I selected. Now, I can move that and the G will stay right there, even though I clearly circled that tail in the G in gang. Now, I'm going to put that back. We'll just undo it. If I had done that on the Supernote platform, it would have dragged the G along with the word who because I selected a portion of the G and it didn't know. Their software doesn't take into consideration that the G is not part of the word that you're trying to select. But Onyx, their algorithm understands that. So I think that they do a good job in that. That is true, Duroc. So Duroc, I guess my point in saying what I just said is that Onyx does a good job, better job than any other company in that category of selecting what you want to select. Now, the scribbles, different story. Sometimes the scribbles are hit or miss, especially if you're trying to delete everything in an area. But it seems like Penstar with the eNote has gotten that right. That's what it seems like to me. All right. What else do I have on the list here? So a couple things we got on the list here is icons user overhaul. We did that. Keyboard is responsive. Scribbles. We just talked about the scribbles. Love the pen customization. So I like the fact that their pen is highly customizable. What you can change what the stroke does, especially when you get into things like this. Select the pen here. This is the pen tool in their note-taking app. So you get, let's go back up here. You get tons of customization with this. You get to pick what the eraser does on the pen. You can pick whether the scribbles are working with the pen. You can pick what the tip of the pen does as well. If we were to go to the settings up here. So you have a lot of options when it comes to the pen, and I really do like the amount of options they give you with the stylus. I don't like the brushed nickel back, so that's neither here nor there, but I really don't like it. What else we got here? Lasso tool needs to be revived. So this is the one thing I think they need to work on before I say, hey, this software is now on par with some of the best in the industry. It's this thing. It's the lasso tool. Whoops, you can't circle to select. It's not Onyx. It's the lasso tool. So I'm going to, can I use this to do it? Nope. Okay, I could select it like this. Okay. So selecting something, right? First of all, I don't like that there isn't a real solid confirmation that I'm selecting something. There's a little bit of a delay between me selecting it and me actually understanding and seeing that there's a graphical acknowledgement that I've selected something. That's my first thing. So let's just back out of that. So we're going to do it again. Okay, I did. So that's the first thing. So there's a lots of things with this last little tool I think could stand to be better. So that's one of them. The second thing is when you bold something, I don't like the fact, I love the fact that you can bold handwriting. That is awesome. I think that's a tool I think that should be added to every eInk device as well, especially the note-taking eInk devices. Like if you're going to be handwriting, to be able to bold handwriting it's as important as being able to bold text, right? I mean, it's like a no-brainer to me, honestly. So anyway, that feature, perfect. My problem is if I went back in and wanted to debold that, say I like, okay, I bolded a whole bunch of stuff I didn't need bolded. I want to go and debold it. When I reselect and hit the bold button, it just makes it even more bolder. And there is no way to debold what you've bolded. You just have to rewrite it. That right there could be fixed. Okay, that's a huge miss right there. There should be a way. First of all, if you wanted it to be bolder than what it was, I think you only need to bold something. It doesn't need to be bolded. So if you hit the bold button once to bold it, hitting that button again should debold that selection. What do we think, chat? I feel like that's the way the bolding should work, in my opinion. All right. So, but beyond that, I don't like the fact too that when you do something, it goes away, right? Like, say a copy. The selection goes away, and I have to reselect it if I want to do something else. Say I bold it. Maybe I wanted to see how it looked while it was bolded. I think that they should keep the selection up. No matter what you do here in the toolbar, I feel like they should keep the selection up so that you can alter it or do something additional to it, just like how the Supernote platform does. So on the Supernote platform, if I were to select something, let's just say I select this right here, I can, well, then again, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. Let's copy it. Oh, no. Nope. My bad, chat. My bad. Okay, you know what? 86 that. 86 that complaint. I guess my real problem with it was that it just didn't allow me to see what it would look like bolded and then unbold it, if that makes sense. We'll move on. Still sluggish. So I don't like the fact that it's still a bit sluggish too. So say I selected this and I wanted to move it. Oops, gotta select the right pen. And say I selected it and now I want to move it somewhere. This could be better. I'm someone who likes it to be super efficient. And these are all things, mind you, that could be fixed in software, that could be made to be better if they just set the refresh rate for when you select things to be a little less graphical and let it not look so good when you're moving around for the sake of having it be a fluid motion. That's something that can be fixed in software. So this isn't a detriment, but it's definitely something I would like to see done. And I think that's it. What else we got here? Yeah, that's it, chat. I think those are all the big notes. No. So added page duplication and movement. So I do like the fact that they added page duplication to your notes. So I can go to here. This wasn't the case before. So I can go and where is it at here? Oh, there we go. Oh, where was it at? Oh boy, that didn't. Let's see where we are. Oh wow! So yeah, I was at a part in this where I was able to go to my notes and add a certain page or check a certain page, and I think, nope, that's not it. Oh, wow. Okay, so, nope. Nope. Oh, that's super interesting. Okay, so I don't know how I got to that part, but there is a way. But there is a way that you can add, and I'm gonna make a video about this, showing people how to go about doing that. All of these new features, I'm gonna make a video about showing and demonstrating in a way better way than on a live demo. Mic is trash. So I tried the microphone. It's definitely not improved. It's the same mic from the eNote, so don't expect anything great there. As far as, I don't know how the dictation is, but there is supposed to be new software that's supposed to do better voice to text dictation. I'll talk about that when it drops. So we'll talk more about that when and if that software hits before they launch the device. Template creator. I think the template creator is cool. The fact that you can create your own template right there on the device, I think is cool. And in a dedicated space. So let's go to in a dedicated space, they have it. So you can go to the template here, and it gives you a dedicated and a formal way to create templates. I think that's really cool. And it keeps them in a particular place, which I think is even more cool. I don't like the brushed metal back. I think that's the only thing I haven't mentioned here is the brushed metal back. And I think we talked about that initially when we talked about the device and the cosmetic changes that were taking place. Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but it's a more refined touch. I will say that. It adds a little bit of je ne sais quoi to the situation. It adds a little bit. What we got here in the chat? Can you do this on Supernote? That is true, The Rock. Can you do this on Supernote? What's that? Let me see here. Oops. Take a look at the chat here. How does scribble erase work on tightly lined? Okay, you can do this on Supernote. Boox uses to bold select the text. Click the color circle on the context menu and change the width. Oh, true. I never thought about that, The Rock. I never thought about that. That's a good workaround. For those who didn't know what he's talking about, I'm talking about your ability to bold. It's just a one-click bold for the eNote platform. But The Rock is saying if you have a Boox product, you can just select what you want bolded and change the line thickness, which is a way to do it. And better than this system because at least you can go back and take it away if you want to, right? And you can change to whatever degree of thickness you want. So yeah, way better solution. Way better solution. Although I like the single click method. I do like the single click. I like the effectiveness of that. All right. I think that's it, you guys. Anything big happening in the eInk world today that we should talk about before we get out of here? How about anything big in the tech world happening today? There was nothing really huge in the tech news sphere today. You guys let me know. Let me know. Also, there is back to school's going on. So there's a lot of people are buying back to school gear. Consider eInk tablets, you guys. Consider introducing the eInk tablet into your student's life. Let's see how they feel about it. You might be surprised. You might be surprised. And if you haven't thought about it, do some research on getting your student an eInk tablet to try to take some of the load off of having so many notebooks and pages around, and maybe help them about centralizing information. Definitely something to think about. All right, everyone, that's going to be the show for today. Listen, thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to bring more eNote 2 content to the channel. Again, the screen brightness video for eInk is dropping today, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I do have the unboxing for the eNote happening on the 20th as well. I think that's the day they're launching the device. So if you're looking forward to this, there's going to be an early bird special for the eNote 2 on launch day. I think there's a $50 discount. We're going to talk about more about that tomorrow on tomorrow's show before the launch. So we'll get the official pricing and all of that and drop date, which I'm pretty sure is going to be August 20th. I'm pretty sure. What else we got going on? That's it. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever, you guys. Rants about tech, daily tech news stories, daily eInk stories, and the sort. So join us if you have time. Like if you'd like. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And again, until next time, everybody. Take care.